The first card you have for your past is the Two of Wands. I'm getting this feeling of wanting to kind of look forward, wanting to move forward. And I think, you have been doing that. You've moved on from a lot of things, and you've moved on from a lot of people who weren't good for you as well. I think there's one person who you're still sort of in two minds about, or you were at this time. I don't think you actually said anything to this person. I think this was all happening in your mind. And I think on the one hand, you were kind of looking forward. You were kind of looking forward to your own life by yourself, your plans, what you wanted to do. You had lots of plans, actually. But then on the other hand, you were sort of, you're thinking about them. And they're always sort of there in your mind, whether you wanted them to be there or not. They were just there. And maybe this is because you just spent so much time around this person when you're with them. You spent so much time planning your future with them, that now every time you kind of tried to plan a future for yourself, by yourself, your mind kept on going back to this default position of seeing them in your future and seeing them in your future plans. So, this was just driving you crazy. You just kept on seeing them there, and then that would trigger your feelings again, and then it set you off again, and then that set your plans back again. So it was kind of like you wanted to move forward, and then you were moving back, and then you wanted to move forward, so it was that kind of thing was going on. But I don't think this was stopping you from actually making these plans. I think you were trying to do this. It was making things emotionally difficult for you, of course, but you might have been feeling as if this person or the memory of them was sort of shadowing you, shadowing everything you were trying to do. The wand behind this man in this card looks a bit like a shadow behind him. But if you look at it, it's bolted. Well, it's not kind of, it is. It's bolted to the wall. So I think if you started moving forward in reality, instead of just making plans to move forward, they'd probably stay where they were. They probably wouldn't try to follow you. Now, this can be the crossroads card. There are a few different crossroads cards, but this can be one of them. So you're trying to move forward, and you definitely were, but maybe don't be angry. Maybe there was a small part of you that was hoping that they'd follow you if you did move forward. But again, this was all going on in your mind. You're trying to move forward, but kind of this person in your mind and all these things were kind of stopping you from really properly moving forward. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have your past is the Emperor. So, I think that no matter what your heart was feeling, you just had to force yourself to move forward. And I think you just realised that regardless of what you were feeling or whatever they were feeling or weren't feeling, you just had to start pushing yourself forward. You had to force yourself. You had to start pushing these plans into action as well. Now, you were doing this. I'm seeing that you were starting to do this at this time. But I don't think this was easy for you. I think forcing things is a bit against your nature, actually. You like to go with the flow. You just like to go with the flow a bit. So this was a bit kind of, it didn't feel natural to you. And I think, because you were kind of still a bit wrapped up in your feelings, not totally, but there was a part of you that still kind of hoped that they'd come back or move forward with you. You might not have been seeing the full reality of some of the things that had happened in this relationship that were happening, while you were still there, while you're still with them. I'm actually seeing someone being a little bit controlling, maybe not in an obvious way, but I'm just getting this feeling that, they wanted a lot of things to go their way, only their way. And there might have been some questioning going on. I'm seeing, your opinion being questioned or not being believed all the time or something like that. And there's this feeling of having to prove things, maybe even having to prove yourself to them. It was something like that. Now, I think that this forcing yourself to move forwards is going to make you realise a lot of things. You're going to realise that a lot of things weren't right about this connection, I think. You might not have realized these things at this time. This is in your past. But I think as you keep on moving forward and pushing yourself forward and going forward, you're going to see a lot more of these things and realize a lot more of these things. They're going to come to light for you. And you're going to be like, oh, I remember when that happened. That's what that was about. So it's going to be like that. So yeah, the last card you have your past is the Seven of Wands. So, I think as you were going through all of this, you did have people around you who cared about you. They were helping you, they were advising you and, supporting you. And you needed that support. And I think, you still have some of these people around you supporting you. And that's great. That's fantastic because you needed all of that. But I think maybe you might have regretted talking to so many people about this maybe. Because I think, when you first spoke to people about this separation or whatever this was, I think it felt good to get this all off your chest, I think. But then you might have been sort of getting a lot of unsolicited opinions, some kind of unwanted sort of bossy gossiping energy coming your way, if that makes sense. People saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Why haven't you done that? Have you done that yet? Go and do this, do that. All of that kind of thing. People telling you what to do. So yeah, you probably wish that you hadn't told so many people. This card's a bit like a battle. So, I think what first felt like a release of stress when you told people might have eventually turned into what felt like a bit of a battle for you. And, if this is still resonating with you, as you're still going through all of this, if people are still questioning you and trying to force their opinions on you and tell you what to do and whatever, you might want to say something to them like, oh, thanks for your concern. Thank you for your concern. But, I'm fine. Thank you. And if they keep on asking, you might just have to keep on repeating that over and over again, maybe. I don't know if that'll work. You might have some really persistent people around you, but I hope it does work. If they keep on saying things like, so what have you done about that? Have you done this yet? Have you gotten this together yet? Are you doing that? Oh, are you going out and meeting new people? Get yourself out. Are you doing this or that? Oh, my friend knows someone who did that and they can help you. And you just don't want to know, it's just like, oh. So just say to them, look, it's okay. I'm fine now. There's no need to worry about me now. Thanks for asking. Just something neutral like that doesn't kind of give them any information, but it's still kind of polite. Anyway, that might not work. Just ignore me if you don't want to do that. So the first card you have for your present is the Hanged Man. So yeah, this is about these people telling you what to do again. And I got the word gossip came out of my mouth as well. So I think there's some gossip around this as well. You might have to end up distancing yourself from some of these people if they keep on at you. And I think you might lose some of them eventually, actually. That might not be such a bad thing, actually, because, yeah, there is some gossip. I think there is some gossip around these people. Some of these people might be talking about you, talking about the situation, talking about the separation, what you said, what they said, all of that kind of stuff. And not everyone's gossiping. Most people are fine, but I am seeing one person, maybe even two people gossiping. And I think this might be one of the reasons why someone was asking you so many questions. They wanted to talk to other people about this. It was like they were mining for information from you. They're like, oh, what happened then? What happened then? And you tell them and they go and tell other people. So, yeah. So, of course, they didn't want you to know that's what they were doing. This hanged man has his hands behind his back, so it looks as if he's hiding something. And, this is in your presence, so some of this talk might still be going on behind your back. I don't want to make you feel paranoid, but I think you already know who this is, so I think you know who to avoid. So yeah, the next card you have your present is the World. Yeah, this is really beautiful. I love this. I'm seeing some creativity and I'm seeing this around work. So it might be that one of these plans that you're working toward in the Two of Wands was some kind of business idea or something. I'm definitely seeing something relating to creativity. And there's learning around this as well, but I don't think you're the one who's learning here. I think you might be teaching someone. I think you might be teaching something creative to people. It's something like that. Now, yeah, it makes sense that you want to do something like that because you're very intuitive, you're very good with people, and you're also very creative. You might not be the most organized business person in the world. Don't be angry, but you can discipline yourself enough to cope with that side of things. Anyone can if they want to. Even me, I'm not organized, and I manage. I still do it. So yes, do this because you are good at this. You are talented at this, and you love this. The main thing is you love it. That's what's going to keep you going. I think a lot of people start businesses with a view to only making money. Now, there's nothing wrong with making money. I don't have a problem with money, but if your heart's not truly in it, if money is the main thing, then success isn't going to last. But yes, you love this and you love this, and this is doing something you love and working toward achieving this goal is going to be really, really good for you. It's going to be good for you emotionally, and it's going to help take your mind off things, and it's going to keep on pushing you forward. And I won't say that again. I won't say you love this again. I've said you love this about 20 times. So the last card you have for your present is the Queen of Cups. So again, this card can be about creativity, the right side of the brain and all of that. I think this is going to really take over your world for a while. This creative thing, I think you're really going to get lost in this, and this is a good thing. You're going to be concentrating 100% on this thing. I'm just seeing you working on this thing for hours and hours, and it's probably going to feel like only minutes have gone past. You're just going to be totally submerged in whatever this is. And I think that for a while you're probably not going to even want to even think about letting any new love into your life. I'm not seeing you feeling bitter or resentful or anything like that. You're just not going to feel up to it. I think it takes a lot of your energy to be in love with someone. When you love someone, when you give your love to someone, you give every part of your emotion to that person. And at some time in your future, you will be able to do that, I think. But at this time, you probably won't have the strength in you yet to be able to do this. Look at this beautiful queen. She's staring at her cup, but there's a lid on the cup. So she's keeping a lid on her emotions. And that's what you're doing at this time. You're not ready to share your emotions yet. It's a big, huge thing for you to do that. And also you'll have a lot of other things that you'll be trying to focus on anyway. So yes. So the first card you have for your future is the Knight of Wands. So speaking of not being ready for love, this is what I'm seeing. Yeah, I think there might be someone around you or coming toward you, coming to you, who might have always had their eye on you, actually, a bit. I don't know if this is a friend of your ex, maybe. I'm definitely seeing someone who's from that part of your life. Now, it might be a mutual friend, but yeah, I think this person's always found you attractive. They might not have actually come out and said this to you, but I think you knew. I think you've always known that they felt this way about you a bit. I think you can tell when someone's interested in you. You have this kind of instinct about that, and you know. And so yeah, just watch out. Just watch out, because I think this person might want to contact you. They might contact you soon, actually. And, I think you'll be fine to talk to them. I don't think you'll have a problem with talking to them. But I don't think you'll be interested in anything with them, really. Because for one, they probably remind you of the time you spent with your ex, and you don't want to go back there. And it's probably just too close to that old situation for you, if that all makes sense. And, as I was seeing in the Queen of Cups, you don't feel ready for anyone new anyway. And the other thing is, this is the Knight of Wands. So this is the kind of person who rushes into your life and they rush out of your life again. So there are many, many, many reasons why I can't see this leading to anything. But, it might boost your confidence a bit, which can only be a good thing. So that's okay. So yeah, the next card you have for your future is the Nine of Swords, yeah. So yeah, this is a really sad card, obviously. Okay, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing in this card. I'm seeing emotional exhaustion, actually. I just think, you've been through so much and you're naturally an emotional person, but you've been holding a lot in. You've been really trying to focus on planning things, pushing forward, concentrating on this creative business thing. You've also had gossip around you. You've had a lot of stress around you. And you've just been holding this in for a long, long time. You have been coping. You've been coping really well, actually. But I think you might just have to let this all out when it comes, when this time comes. And you might have to just let all of these emotions out, because you keep on trying to keep a lid on things, like I was seeing in the Queen of Cups. And if you keep on trying to keep a lid on things, it's only going to come out later. So I think you're just going to have to let this whole thing out. I know this is in your future, but if and when this happens, just let this all out. Sit on the sofa, hide in bed for a while, watch a movie or listen to music or whatever you do. Just do that. Just let all of your emotions out. Let it out. And please don't worry. I mean, this wave of emotion doesn't mean that you're kind of going backwards. You're not going backwards. You've just tried to hold all of this in for too long, I think. And this is going to be a huge, huge stress release for you when it happens. It's not going to feel great. It's not while it's happening, but after it's finished, you're going to release all of this stress. So yeah, the last card you have for your future is the High Priestess. Yeah, so again, same situation again. I think this is just about letting this flow happen, going with the flow of your emotions. I'm just looking at the bottom of this beautiful High Priestess's dress, and you can't see it, so I'll let you see that. It looks like waves of emotion going up and down. I think you're just going to want to be alone for a while you're going through this emotional release. And that's fine. This is what you're going to need, I think. There's no right or wrong, so just go with your instincts at this time. If you need to turn your phone off, if you need to take a weekend to yourself, whatever you need, just do it. Listen to yourself. And I think that after you've been through this time, you'll have learned a lot about yourself. And you'll be released of all this stress. And I know this might sound a bit sad and negative, but it isn't. This is going to be really important for your growth. It's going to be really important to help you to move forward properly. And it's going to be really important for you to just release all of that stress and everything that comes with it. That's what I'm seeing there.